accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the teat of the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, you know, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this
You
at
didn't
all.
set me up right.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as hell.
ultimate.
Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just get up right now, Copernic. God damn it. It's so free that you can't do it. You have to. It's free because there's only one way to be. That's why it's free. So be that. Damn you. They don't have anything to live. I mean, their kids hate them. They don't have, all their money got stolen by banksters and shit. Healthcare's running through the fucking roof.
How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid? Ay.
Oh my God, have you heard the news? Kids are dying of Kratom.
That's not true.
They're injecting it into their veins.
I don't think that's happening.
An ABC Action News exclusive. A mom says a popular herb killed her son.
The most recent death happened in early June. Kratom, also known as metrogenine, was one of 4 drugs blamed for his death.
This was like the devil's drug.
It really is just a green powder that makes people feel better.
Yeah, it's a leaf. It grows from the ground, you smash it up, you make a tea out of it, you throw it down the back of your throat, you eat some capsules, and you feel better, your mind's clear. And most people that use Kratom don't have access to healthcare or prescriptions or any of that regular medicine stuff. They get it from local stores or online.
Let's do an example here. You're a young person, you don't understand how all this works, so let me explain this to you. When you get hurt in your older age, let's say you're 34, you work on a roof, you fall off and you crush your fucking heel, right? It's all shattered. The doctor 10, 15 years ago was like, that's fucked up. That really hurts. You're gonna need some opioids to kill that pain. And then the DEA says, no, you can't have those anymore. These doctors have to tighten up their prescriptions. And now you don't have any. You can't afford them. What do? You can take Kratom. It has the same effects, it's less addictive, and it's more gross. So that even brings down the use. You're not gonna use it as much. Kratom kills the pain in your body. It also cures social anxiety.
The government's solution to stuff like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you. You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism. And they say, they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah, you're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett, when you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try. See. I summon the ghost into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts. So this is where the ghost lives, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here.
Hello, Street Fighters. Welcome. It's the Basement Show. We're here in the basement, ready to talk to each other. My name is Brett Payne. My co-host is Brian Quinby. We do this every single week, Wednesday nights. Around 11 o'clock. Depends on what we're doing. Sometimes earlier. Brian is a trooper today. We recorded some bonus content. We watched an episode of Undercover Boss that'll be coming to our Patreon very soon. We also recorded a bonus video watch. We checked out a typo negative video so Brian could show me what all the fuss is about. And we've just been rolling, keeping it going as best we can in the world that we're in. And we're happy that everybody comes and listens and chats and watches and contributes to the show. It really means a lot. And, we had no idea it was going to get this big, and it's only gotten better. So that's because of all y'all that listen. You can get more from us by going to patreon.com/streetfightradio, and you can watch what we do on live stream on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. I also go on Instagram live on occasion. Would like to do it more, but you can find me at StreetFightWCRS running the Instagram over there. So I think that's it. We got Means TV in the works, nailing down some final details, and but for tonight, all we gotta do is this show, really.
Yeah, man.
Nothing more.
I'm less rashed today. Probably gonna throw out like a quick little apology. I felt very bad about my performance near the end of the show on Sunday, but I was elsewhere in my brain, and it sucked, and I felt real bad about it, and then thought about it for a couple days, and recorded a podcast or two and felt a little better. It's like one of those things where, like, you just leave on a bad note of something, We've done a million podcasts, but, like, one where I feel like I didn't do my best is like,
Yeah.
fuck.
That was Sunday, you're saying?
Yeah, Sunday felt like, well, I was so near the end. I was just like, I have a rash. And something I was thinking about because of the DMs I got Monday and Tuesday is like, now everybody on the internet thinks I have jock itch.
Yes.
Which I know what jock itch is. Believe it or not, as a guy who walks as much as I am and weighs as much as I do, I've had it a bunch of times.
You know it.
Oh boy, I'm very acquainted with jock itch in my day.
You know what? I wish I had the name. I need to give people more credit, but someone did send an article written by Deadspin that said Dove is horrible soap.
Beauty bar.
Yeah, it's a beauty bar, not a soap.
I gotta stop. You know what needs to start happening? We gotta start looking at packages more. It's just they tell you to read the label, but you just don't think about it. You're like, Dove, is Dove soap?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Dove soap. Everybody knows Dove soap. No, it's called a beauty bar, which is specifically not soap.
It's like dried lotion.
Yeah. It's like anything else. It's like everything at the store now. It's like something else, Like, especially the stuff we grew up with, where it's like every piece of cheese I ate growing up until about fucking 10 years ago was cheese food.
Yeah.
It wasn't cheese.
Pasteurized cheese products.
Yeah. I don't think I had something that wasn't pasteurized cheese product until like 2013,
Yeah.
Because that was what my parents did.
Sure.
And to tell you the truth, I think that's why I like Five Guys a lot, because they toss that fucking shitty American cheese on the burger, and it just feels like
home.
Yeah, it just feels like you're eating fucking like dinner when you're 11, when you don't have a car in the shop and a rash all over your body.
Yeah, that takes you back.
Yeah,
it's a type of medicine. I think pasteurized cheese products is a type of medicine.
Well, that's the thing I always talk about queso. This was like, until about a year ago, I didn't know how to make no queso that didn't have Velveets in it.
Yeah.
The old Velveeta. And then I've been learning slowly so that I can like make something that is actually queso.
Right.
But if I want to fucking get down with some queso, I will go buy a brick of that Velveeta. I will. I'm not afraid of it.
I'm a fan.
Also, while we're on this subject, the fucking grocery store is miserable, and I'm even more mad at it now than I have been the past 2 weeks.
Wow, you talked so much. You said all their produce was
It is trash.
D, subpar.
C plus. C plus produce.
Okay.
At the grocery store. No semolina flour. Just a uncultured country. Like, how am I supposed to make Italian foods without semolina flour? You know, I'm going to make a pizza dough with regular ass flour? No, I need the semolina. That's how the Italianos make it. Hey.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They don't have
something- it should be like when we take stuff, we should also do it the right way.
Yeah.
Instead of just instead of just the boiled in a box spaghetti, boil from a box spaghetti.
I got nuts
You gotta
today,
make
dude.
it.
I got nuts today. I had to go to 2 stores, first of all, which pissed me off. Because it's like, if I go to one supermarket, I need them to have everything I want, you know? And the thing about the supermarkets in my area is Kroger sells caramellos. Giant Eagle does not.
Yeah.
So I am like, I don't want to go to Giant Eagle at all. No Mellows. No Mellows, no Brian. You know?
So now you're sucked into the Giant Eagle infrastructure. Like,
so what happens is I go to Kroger to get some active dry yeast, which capitalism should have provided for me.
Right.
At the Kroger, they should have it. Right?
Yeah, I would think so.
They have none. Still. That's a capitalism right there. It's like where like I would love to fucking sit down with Ben Shapiro and be like, why can't I get active dry yeast right now if this is all so great?
Right.
If everything's so fucking if infinite growth is possible, where's my active dry yeast? I want to buy a fucking boatload of it.
Yeah, it seems like a great opportunity to sell yeast right now. What happened here?
Why aren't they? It seems messed up. And here's another thing that's going on in Columbus. And I know this is my fault. Because I've been running my mouth, okay? Everybody's out of mellows.
There's a mellow shortage.
And fucking, if you live here, don't buy them. They're mine. Those are my mellows. I have dominion over the mellows. I've had to go sometimes 2 places. You walk in, there's no caramellos. It's like, who the fuck else is buying these? These are mine.
There's no other caramel candy substitute?
I would fucking never think of it. You know why? Because all the other ones have salt in them. It's all salty caramel. And I'm just a poor, young, white trash man from Groveport, Ohio that does not want big chunks of salt in his caramel. Okay? I just want a caramello. Like the olden days.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Like the pre-cheddar cheese days when you just had cheese food. Okay? And I can't get my lemon lime Gatorade Zero anywhere. Now what's going on with that? And I know it's because I post about it. And people are like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to fucking make sure that Brian has to compromise on his Gatorades. And that, because they're $1 everywhere right now. 88 cents at some places. You can get this huge Gatorade, right?
Okay.
And I need the Zero because if it's not the Zero, it's like syrup to me.
Yeah.
It's thick. It's a thick drink. I don't like it.
Thick with electrolytes.
No, I think it's thick with sugar, really. I think the sugar is what gets it really thick because this is 0 sugar. Thin, very thin. It's the perfect flavor. It's perfect. But everywhere I go, no lemon lime. None. And it's because I posted about it. It's because people have seen me drinking it on the stream. People in Ohio are like going fucking batshit crazy for caramellos and lemon lime Gatorade. And now they're locking me out of it, you know? So I'm here on this show right now telling you to cut it out. You know you didn't want it before. These were things I picked that nobody liked. And now it's all over with. You know, people were sending me pictures of half-eaten caramellos that they had today.
Half-eaten? Like
they were like, yeah, I'm just enjoying one right now when you can't go buy the kind that you like, you know?
Yeah, I thought they were getting rid of the rest of it.
No, they're
They
eating
took
it.
a bite and were like, all right, it's basic.
No, it's not basic, though. It's too good. You put one of those motherfuckers in the refrigerator and you start eating it and you're like, oof. The other night I was like, I'm not going to eat any caramellos tonight. I'm going to fucking burn myself out on them. I'm not going to eat any.
Yeah. Smart.
I ate 6.
6 what? Squares?
King size caramello bars.
No.
6.
No, you can't do that.
Right. I know I can't do that, and I shouldn't do that. But it was the first day of my steroid treatment for my rash, and I was just ravenous. And I could not stop eating.
Have you tried, like, food?
That's the only food that tastes good to me right now. I just love it. Just love it.
All right.
That would be the worst thing about getting COVID for me, is if I couldn't taste caramellos.
They can make into a smoothie, maybe?
Well, you can't taste.
Someone
You can't
sent me a
taste.
caramello smoothie recipe.
Okay.
I gotta
I'll
see if
try
I
that.
can make it for you.
Okay. I mean, it's a little weird. I don't like smoothies as much as I used to back in the day. I like milkshakes. You know?
No, yeah, okay.
A
Yeah,
mellow
who
milkshake.
doesn't? Who doesn't like candy and ice cream combined?
Caramello milkshake. That would be something.
Caramello Blizzard?
Yeah. You know, a couple weeks ago, Gwen wanted a milkshake. It's like 1 a.m, right? You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, where are you going to go to get a milkshake 1 a.m? Well, I happen to know a place.
The freezer? You
Where
got one of
you can
those
no.
ones you put in the microwave?
No, those suck, dude.
Those are terrible.
I mean,
believe
nobody's ever made a good homemade milkshake, ever,
well,
in the
that's
history
not
of
true.
milkshakes.
That's not true.
Never.
If you got the little machine, you can have a go at it.
Nope. Never works. So anyway, because we're just not good at it. It's like making a homemade cheeseburger. It's like we can't do that. You know? That's not the average person's skill set. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that's
making
for
milkshakes are not
restaurants. Restaurants, they're milkshake people. Cheeseburger people. That's where you get those things, right?
Okay.
You want peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You don't need to get that at a restaurant. You can make that at home, you know? So I take her to the Market District Get-Go.
The gas
They have
station.
the fucking milkshake. They got the TV screen, the touch screen where you can order a milkshake. She wants a birthday cake milkshake, right?
Cool.
But
It's not her birthday.
she doesn't bring a mask. So I have a mask. I got to go in there and I got to order this thing while she stands outside, right? 1 a.m. She's standing out in front of the store. I'm in there and I'm like, okay, birthday cake, milkshake, whipped cream. And then the woman's like, we don't got no sprinkles, right? And I was like,
We don't got no sprinkle?
no sprinkles.
Did those come separately?
Well, no, but I
They feed 'em
think
in a hopper?
a birthday cake, milkshake, should have sprinkles in it, right? But then I was like, really just buying it for the flavor. Don't need
Yeah.
the sprinkles.
Yeah.
Biggest letdown of her life. She was so annoyed with me when I got outside and handed it to her. She was like, what's the point without the sprinkles? And I'm like, what's the point of the fucking sprinkles? You know? You just want birthday cake flavor. It's a flavor. You know?
So
that's
sprinkles are the fun, I guess.
Yeah, but they don't taste like anything. Do sprinkles have a flavor?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, no, they're just
Not that
fucking decorations. Who gives a fucking rat's ass about these things? So I saw this story earlier today, or right before we went to record, actually, and it was really funny. So it was a representative. He's in the House of Representatives for Pennsylvania. Okay, Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And he put out a press release from his official stationery, you know. It's got the House of Representatives sign on it and all the stuff, all of his info, where his office at and stuff. And I want to read you the first line of this and get your reaction because I think this is something you're going to really like.
Let's hear it.
State Representative Russ Diamond addresses hateful comments towards the unmasked community.
Oh. He's finally speaking up.
Time for some identity politics.
Yeah.
From the Republicans. Gonna throw us some identity politics.
They're doing that identity judo on us.
I kind of like this. I kind of like the idea of saying unmasked community because there are gonna be people who treat this like legit.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. There's going to be well-meaning liberals.
This gets the ball rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be the liberals that are like, oh, wouldn't it be fucking great if Joe Biden picked like fucking Rick Santorum as his vice president? Then we'd have a fucking real super thing going on there.
Yeah.
You know? Those people will engage this. and be like, the unmasked community, I never really thought of them as a community, you know? This is interesting. Tell me more about the unmasked community.
How can we get their votes?
Well, they need them. You see the Democratic platform?
No.
This week? Oh, it's bleak, dude. It is bleak. They did a huge vote for Medicare for all being part of the platform.
Did they do the convention or something?
No, they just, before the convention, they have to like vote on the platforms among the party, you know? And let me get you the numbers for Medicare for all. The vote for Medicare for all for the Democratic platform, which, by the way, an overwhelmingly, especially with Democrats, with their base, a popular thing, right? Like, I think somebody was, I think I saw numbers like 68% of their base wants Medicare for all.
Yeah, they should. I mean, it's upsetting. It's only that much.
Yeah. So where do we got here? God damn it. Okay, yeah, that was almost 90. It says fuck. God damn it. I should have saved this.
Yeah, it's fine.
It was a big number that voted against Medicare for all. I think it was 50 of them voted for it, and then 100 and someone voted against it. And then the other big thing that showed up, and it really pissed me off, is legalizing weed. Overwhelmingly against it.
Really?
The Democratic Party overwhelmingly against legalizing weed during this uprising moment too, where we're talking about, I mean, I'll be generous. I want to abolish the police. We are talking about reform here. Some people want some sort of reform.
Yeah.
And just against it.
Worthington Worthington schools canceled their contract with Columbus and Worthington Police.
Yeah, that's great. That's actually good. I mean, I can't believe they got away with it though.
Very surprising. But you're right. I mean, this is directly related to it. This is what people have always said when it comes to Joe Biden is he's not any help to people that support support the Bernie Sanders. Like this is what, like, there's this whole new group of people that are activated. We want Medicare for all. The weed is being smoked like crazy in plenty of other places, and still people are going to jail for it. It's fucking idiotic.
Yeah, it says today the Democratic National Committee's platform committee voted 106 to 50 to reject an amendment to endorse legalizing marijuana. That is like, it should be humiliating to be 106. Those 106 people, it should be humiliating to be those.
I don't think so. They're probably have a wonderful life that they enjoy.
But for what reason? Why won't they give us reason? Why can't we even just get a fucking reason why they won't legalize it? They should at least have to fucking tell us a reason. It's just like I'm seeing people that are responding to these things saying like it endangers children and families, and it's like, that's weird because how does it do that? I don't quite understand how it endangers children and families. Weed is very cool, and it's a ridiculously popular thing now, and it's like part of me just feels like they're trying to lose, you know?
It seems that way. I mean, if you were trying to throw the fight, this is a good way to do it, I think.
Well, it just
considering if you wanted to win, these things are overwhelmingly popular items that you can get anybody to vote for.
Do you remember in 2004 when that election was going on, and one of the things the Republicans got a lot of credit for, like just in a horse race way, not in like, you know, we're not saying they're good, but in battleground states where it looked like Bush couldn't win, they put up anti-gay marriage ballot initiatives on the thing because they knew it would turn people out to vote for that. And then, you know, chances are they're going to vote for a Republican. There weren't very many Democrats that were against it. Maybe. I'm sure there were, actually. I think Obama was still against it at that time. But I remember seeing that. Now I just think about, like, the types of things that they could
get away with.
They don't have to. I mean, they have to look out for the interests of the people controlling the economy, though.
Yeah.
Like, they have to look out for the interests of folks that, like, Aetna or whatever, or Blue Cross and Blue Shield, that are hire, hundreds of thousands of people,
Yeah.
They have to worry about, like, they want to make sure that money keeps flowing to private health care.
Yeah.
And that prison and pharmacy companies don't have any of their businesses affected by legalizing weed.
Yeah, you're right.
It's all a sham.
I mean, what is it? What affects them? Are we going to stop taking medicine when they legalize weed? And wow, here's the other thing. We fucking know it's going to happen. It's not even like this thing that's like, we will never legalize weed. Everybody here knows that the ball is rolling downhill. So what is even the point in being the thing that's stopping it from going? I don't understand it. I don't know who these delegates are. Who are these fucking delegates? I would love to meet all 106 of the delegates that voted against marijuana legalization, because it just feels crazy to me to even think of. I don't think I talked to one person in my daily life that would be against it. I can't think of a fucking person that I've met in I don't fucking know how long that is now still like it's still a moral panic to them, Yeah,
I think it's just a business decision. I really do.
Fucking
There's
business.
a lot of interest.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it just it doesn't seem like it would hurt a business, though. It doesn't even. It seems so harmless, dude. Like, I don't know what the thing is that, like, what is business not getting out of it? Like, I guess prison and jailing and that sort of thing, the war on drugs. And also, it really does give the police an excuse to look through your shit if they want to, especially because they think everything smells like weed.
Yep.
Every time I've been pulled over, it's been like a thing that every time I've ever been pulled over, it's like you smoking a cigarette in a car and they'd be like, "Is that marijuana?" And you're like, "No." And they're like, "Get out of the car."
Yeah.
They search you. You drove over a skunk and they think it's weed, Like, it's every time. Because I've been pulled over a lot of times with nothing in the car. Nothing. And got searched.
Yeah, I had a friend whose country cops, these country cops, like, had a bag of flour drug tested. Like, they were coming to the house to bake, and we were like, bring 6 cups of flour. And on the way, they got pulled over and had a drug test brought out to see what this fucking flour was.
You can't look at flour and know that it's flour. Why didn't they do the lick their finger and like they do in the movie?
I don't think you're allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, you got to bake the flour too. Yeah, that's so silly that you're not. Well, because they're scared of everything.
Yeah, it could be fentanyl.
Yeah,
It's a trap.
It's a big bag of fentanyl that I'm driving, probably sitting out in the car too.
Yeah.
Like a bag of flour probably sitting on the console between them, like you would be driving with a huge bag of cocaine sitting there, Like fucking Bronson Pinchot in True Romance when he's driving a car. He's just doing coke. I love that fucking guy.
Yeah.
While we're here, I will say I thought this was very funny. I saw this earlier today, and it kind of made me a little bit happy. President Trump devolved into self-pity during a White House coronavirus briefing on Tuesday, lamenting that his approval ratings were lower than those of 2 top government medical experts. He's lower than Fauci.
It's a horse race.
He hates this. He hates this Fauci guy. Can you imagine what goes on in his mind about this Fauci guy?
Yeah, he thinks he's making him look bad.
Yeah, which, by the way...
He's not.
No.
Well, I mean,
he looks just as bad.
Yeah, Fauci seems horrible.
Fauci's throwing the fucking first pitch out at a baseball game, and you're like, no, you should be saying we shouldn't be having baseball games, dude.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be helping this thing along.
But you know what?
That quote today was absolutely chilling about, like, congratulations to all the schools that are opening. You're going to be our first in experimentation of what this looks like. And it's like, I don't know. All these meme pages and right wingers seem to say, like, if the government is going to experiment on us with diseases, that's like revolt time.
Yeah,
Isn't it supposed to be like, how is the most patriotic thing to do Now go get coronavirus at school.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that is a weird quote, especially from a doctor.
Oh yeah.
You know?
No,
like,
that's ghoulish.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the great experiment. And then like, so if a bunch of teachers die, we'll know the experiment wasn't good. But if only a few teachers die, great experiment. I can't tell you how much I love the results, you know?
Yeah, it's a shit show.
The baseball thing, though, to me, was a really weird moment because it's like, this Dr. Fauci, he was never going to throw the first pitch at a Major League Baseball game. Never.
No, he just got...
Yeah.
He got enough, like, clout.
Yeah.
To where the MLB was like, how about you come out, make everybody feel comfortable again? You know? Wear the stethoscope or with the uniform or something.
So how do you... Look, I've talked about my selfishness so many times on this show. I don't know if I could not do it.
What if they just really... This becomes like a desperate thing. Everybody gets starved out for money. And then they're like, we'll pay $1,000, you know, for a couple anarchist comedians to MC an event. Like an all-day festival. They'll let us do Bonnaroo.
Okay, yeah, see, that's the fucking thing about me, is that I am, like, selfish enough where it's like, fuck, man, I get to MC Bonnaroo? Like,
Yeah.
I'm fucking going to be introducing Beyonce on the stage? I think I got to do that.
Yeah.
I said that about the Super Bowl, dude. Like, flip the coin at the Super Bowl. It's like, if you're Fauci, you know that, like, you have a window.
This is, yeah.
Where you're like he is the most well-liked, most popular dude with like regular ass people right now. Most regular ass people. The ones that count. I mean, the ones that don't like him, the conservatives that don't like him, they don't fucking like anybody.
Right.
So they don't really like matter, you know? And like, it would be strange to be asked to throw the first pitch out. And like, politically, for me, I want to come on the air and be like, I wouldn't do it, you know, because I don't think they should be playing baseball. I want to say that, but goddamn, if they fucking asked me, I'd be like, I gotta throw the first pitch.
No way.
Yeah, I want to throw the first pitch. That's a big spot, dude. That's a big spot.
It's a big spot to get embarrassed.
Yeah, he did get embarrassed too. Did you see his pitch?
I only heard about it, and it sounded atrocious.
It was bad. It was bad. But I could do better than him. I could probably throw a strike, dude.
You would. I'm sure you would practice.
Yeah. Well, he had to have practiced, right? I don't know. I just don't know why he did it. Like, he seems like...
No, it's propaganda, dude. He's a fucking idiot.
And like, now you're hearing about the baseball season where, like, I think somebody said 14 people in the Marlins organization got coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's like, just...
One of the guys that recovered from it said it has like heart, an enlarged heart and shit, like inflammation and everything.
Right. And with baseball, the thing is, like, it does seem like, to me...
Ooh, that's a bad pitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
I can do better than him, right?
Yeah, you could top that.
Yeah. It does seem like to me that like baseball is the only sport. Well, I mean, along with wrestling, baseball is the only like legitimate sport that isn't doing a bubble. Nobody knows what the NFL's doing yet.
Yeah.
But baseball's not doing a bubble. And I just think like personally, and this is not to demean people who play the sport or whatever. I just don't think you can trust athletes, like, on the whole, to not be stupid.
As a bunch, yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a shitload of probably very smart people that are playing baseball. They went to college. They graduated college. They know everything. But I also think that there's a bunch of athletes that, like... Nobody's ever told them no, or that what they're saying is stupid, or anything like that. Did you see the guy that got in trouble for baseball? The basketball guy that got in trouble? I saw a couple basketball guys that got in trouble. One basketball guy got in trouble because somebody that was close to him died.
Okay.
And he left the bubble to go to the funeral. And then on his way back to the bubble... He stopped at the Magic City strip club.
Oh, no.
But only to get wings and chicken tenders. He said he went in, picked them up, and walked out. like
yeah,
stay
they
there.
have good wings, I bet.
He did. He said they got the best wings. He's like, anybody that fucking knows anything
Sure.
about Atlanta, Magic City got the best wings.
Sure.
So he went and got wings, and now he's got a quarantine for 14 days. And people were so fucking pissed at him. Like, oh, this is such a selfish act. It's a hideous, disgusting, selfish act. And it's like, I mean, but you would expect more of that, is what I'm saying. Like, you would expect a lot more people to break the bubble, you know?
Yeah, Formula One has done pretty good, but they still had people break the bubble, like almost within the first couple weeks.
What are they doing? Do you know, like, what they're doing to break the bubble? Because that's the kind of stuff I'm very interested in. Like,
Flew
what?
back home. Flew back home for a birthday or something stupid.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I don't know. They have 0 positive cases. They've done like thousands and thousands of tests.
Yeah, Formula One also seems like a thing where you could social distance. I know
Yeah.
the pit crews.
Well, that's what the pit crews have to stay together.
They're in a
but
bubble.
you're right. The players are not like in each other's faces, breathing heavily.
Yeah, baseball and basketball. I mean, I think baseball feels like the safest of the sports. But because, like, I've also been thinking about tennis seems safe, you know?
Yeah.
Baseball, anything where you're far away from each other. But basketball, it really doesn't feel like you can do that without getting some cases. But it also feels like if the bubble's working, let them fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So Denver Nuggets president of basketball operation, Tim Connolly, has spoken with Michael Porter Jr. about the second year forward, theorizing the coronavirus pandemic is being used for population control.
Okay.
Connolly did not make a statement, but Nuggets head coach Michael Malone said he learned about Porter's comments, which were made on a Snapchat Q&A session when he boarded the team bus to practice on Wednesday morning, which you can't do. Like, already, like, since the NBA season has started, I don't watch basketball, and I have seen, like, almost a story a day of some basketball guy getting in trouble for saying something wild on Snapchat Q&A sessions. They're just like, I mean, they're young dudes.
Thinking out loud.
Yeah,
Thinking out loud.
Yes, thinking out loud. Obviously, I'm not the stop police, Malone said during a Zoom session with reporters. I'm not going to tell any of our players what they can and can't say. All I would say is just be sensitive to the current situation in our country and throughout the world in regards to coronavirus. That's a good boss response, I think, you know? Because you can't tell him that he's not allowed to say whatever thing he's believing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just save that for the locker room.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to let these guys... You got to let these
gotta
guys...
give them their freedom of speech.
Yeah, I believe that. Because I believe we let, like, fucking plumbers say whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? When I was a cable guy, you know, I wasn't... Like, this guy didn't say something overly offensive. You know, he said, like, probably some shit. He's in a bubble. Stuck with a bunch of NBA players. Nothing to fucking do. Horrible food. At Disney World. You're fucking living at Disney World, you know?
Yeah.
You want to live at Disney World?
No.
So it's like, you gotta let these guys blow off steam, man. They don't fucking probably even... I mean, they got the internet and all that stuff, but, like, what does an NBA season... an NBA player's life look like normally compared to what it looks like now? People are going to pop off on social media. And he's just sitting around thinking about coronavirus all day, probably.
Yeah.
Because he's stuck in this bubble. He's just sitting around. He's thinking about it. He's making theories in his mind. Who knows what news he's reading? Because people's news choices... Just you can't even
you can get whatever you want. You can get whatever you want these days. Any news you want, they got it.
The idea of, like, shopping for your news.
Yeah.
Don't like this version of the news.
Like that bend.
I like this news. So yeah, this guy, Porter's comments made headlines as the coronavirus death toll approached 150,000 in the United States and stood at 661,917 around the world on Wednesday. Personally, I think the coronavirus is being used obviously for a bigger agenda, Porter said on Snapchat. 22 years old, by the way.
Yeah.
You'd have been saying this shit too. You know, it's being used for population control in just terms of being able to control the masses of people. I mean, because of the virus, the whole world is being controlled. So that's what he thinks, you know. You're required to wear, he says, you're required to wear masks, Porter added. And who knows what'll happen when this vaccine comes out. You might have to have the vaccine in order to travel. Like, that would be crazy. So,
Okay.
so, I just think
Ask
like
me questions.
maybe training in the Q&A method. I think we live in a new weird world where, like, remember how popular on MySpace? Do you remember how popular surveys were? Where like you would go to the bulletins and you would just fill out a survey and then post it in the bulletin and then find another one and just everybody was just doing surveys all day. They loved
Still
giving
happen-
their funny answers.
Facebook does them all the time too.
Do they really?
People have those big copy and paste things of like 18 things you have or haven't done, or bands that you've seen, best, you know.
Oh, I guess I haven't done that.
Yeah.
I haven't done it, but back when in the MySpace days, I loved to fill out a survey. I
Sure.
guess I get all my opinions out,
Yeah.
you know, on this. He's a basketball player, dude. And like people love to be asked questions. It's just like people love it. I love to be asked questions about me. So it's like, it is so, especially as a basketball player, probably, where you have an audience, you know, you have a ready-made audience. Probably so tempting all the time to be like, hey, ask me anything, baby.
Yeah.
It's like, we need to like maybe give training on how to do Q&As because there's just some questions you maybe don't answer, you know?
Yeah. I would imagine somebody else should be answering that, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine with that much money invested in them that they just have them answer whatever they actually think about that shit.
Yeah. That seems like everybody's seems like the guy didn't get in any trouble or anything. So
Sure.
That's nice. I mean, so anyway, back to the Trump thing. Just over a week after he began a rebooted effort driven by rising infection rates and sinking poll numbers to talk about the virus in terms more in line with the medical consensus, Mr. Trump was again making unfounded claims and defending discredited medical experts. It was the sort of eccentric, science-deficient performance that many of his aides believed unnerved the public during the spring, and has come to gravely threaten his re-election prospects. That's true. He did make us nervous as shit in the spring. You got to admit when you saw him.
What, when he said it's all going to be gone by Easter?
Yeah, and when he was on that medicine, when he was loving that medicine a lot.
Oh, yeah, the quinine.
He's like, we got all this medicine, dude. And people started looking for it. It's like, don't listen to him. We have a president that you have to say, like, you can't listen to him.
Right.
Like, don't trust nothing he says.
Right. He doesn't check shit.
But he's the leader. That's how America works, is that he's the leader.
He's in charge.
Yeah. But we have to be like...
But we have a system of checks and balances, though, to make sure that idiot doesn't have too much power. That's what's great about America.
He has too much power, though.
Yeah, he does.
Just way too much.
Now that you say it. Now that you bring up that point, I see what you're saying.
Been so frustrated, like, thinking about how quickly, and maybe this is utopian, but how quickly we could change course if we didn't have this America thing.
Yeah.
In the way, like this
if we
thing.
were able to respond to the problems instead of, being shut down and prevented from doing anything helpful and being told to go back to work and send our kids to daycare instead.
Right, this thing that like they say it's a feature that everything moves slowly, it's deliberative. This is great. But it's like that doesn't help in a fucking crisis. Like if it's like we were talking about on Sunday. I can't fucking like if there's a fire in the middle of the night, I can't wake up and pick a nice outfit to wear before I go outside and watch my house burn down. I have to just fucking go. Right. I have to make sure the wife and the kid, we make sure we all get out of there and we're alive. That's the important part. You don't get to like grab some stuff before you leave. I mean, I probably would try because
I would reach out. I'd definitely grab some stuff if I could.
Yeah, just a few things. Just some of my shirts, maybe.
Yeah.
But
my precious shirts.
Yeah. But no, you don't get to like it's like you wouldn't be like thumbing through it wouldn't be a deliberative process if your house was on fire. And that's how it feels, man, because it's like we got all this stuff happening we got this pandemic where like it is like not going well.
Yeah.
Like it's being handled in maybe the worst way possible by the worst people possible.
Well, the extra unemployment money has actually kept us afloat. I think has kept the chaos at bay for a little bit.
The what?
The extra unemployment money.
Yeah, and the stimulus, like
That was
I know they're
ages ago.
right, but I'm saying, but they have been like we might do a stimulus. We could be doing a stimulus sometime.
But they're so stupid because they just think they can pay that and say it's going to be over by the fall. And you have to do stuff like there's no health system in place to help us. They can't make any fucking money on it. There's no money to be made. I saw in Italy, like you should be walking down the street and someone will just tap you on the shoulder and take your fucking take your temperature, give you a COVID test, and then they record it. And then, find out who has it and who doesn't.
We would flip out if they did that here, but I would love it. I'd be so happy. I'd be out like trying to get stopped so I could get a test.
Yeah.
But I assume in Italy, you could probably just go get a test.
It's very common. I've been reading, how they've reorganized their entire hospitals and they've created pathways for COVID infected people to get in and out of the hospital without breathing or using the same air, supplies, employees, anybody. They have a completely separate, like the hospital is completely quarantined off and they're back to like regular shit on the other side. There's a lot of interesting and good information out there. But you're right, contact tracing, I read, is going so poorly in America. I found a website for Ohio. They're looking for volunteers. We have record unemployment right now, and they don't want to hire anybody to do contact tracing. It would take $10 an hour, and you could get 100,000 people overnight in the state of Ohio, easy.
Yeah,
but I've also read that they don't want to the people that do have it. They've been trying the limited contact tracing. Most people don't respond because they're like afraid of the government.
Yeah, they don't answer the goddamn phone.
There's a reason to be afraid of the government, though.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this information? Like they're going to use it against me. This isn't an organization that fucking helps me.
No, never.
They just try to put us in jail.
Yeah,
they try to catch us being too free or not free in the right way and put us in fucking jail.
Yeah. You're absolutely right, and like we're still in that spot where like testing can take 10 to 14 days to get the results, which is no reason to get a test. When I saw that, it was just like, I don't even know why I would get a test. Like what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
If I thought I had it, it's like, I'm just going to have to fucking live with it anyway.
Yeah, you would be sick in bed and then the mail would come and be like, you've got COVID. It's like, oh, I guess that's why I'm in bed now.
Yeah, no shit. Thank you. That's pathetic though. That's really pathetic.
It's all bad. And I don't know. I feel like I'm not like the parents that I'm talking to. Like I don't think that they're stupid, or I don't think that it's everybody wants kids to die, but people are really just like, you know what? Our little community is going to get through this thing, and we're going to wash everything down with Lysol, and that's going to do it. And we just want to get back to school, and it's like we're ignoring the problem. Everybody's ignoring the solutions. We have no access to solutions, and instead people are just trying to squint and grin and bear it.
It's very hard for me to imagine that somebody they're not going to hire anybody else at the school, any more custodians at the school. But they are going to step up their cleaning.
Oh, yeah.
At the school, and they're going to make sure that everything's sanitary and sanitized.
Yeah.
Like it very much. Also,
teachers get ready, teachers. You're cleaning the classroom every day now.
Right. And I've been having these conversations with Gwen because our school, it's a personal choice, of course, for no reason. Yeah. And so it's a choice. Okay. And the people that choose to go in person still might not go in person. It's like sort of like they have a tiered system that the kids that go in person will also like be on a 3-tiered system where like depending on case numbers, you're either home all the time, hybrid, or full-time. And then the full-time online students are just full-time online students. And
they're going to regret that.
Why?
Because like once they get to the limit and it's just like months and months of being in like the highest tier, it's going to be very deflating.
Yeah. Well, and then I started talking. So now it's like these conversations that I have to have. I got a 15-year-old, you know, and I don't want to make this decision for her because she's 15. And like, I don't think there's any reason for me to make it. It really is sort of up to her.
Concerned with it too.
Right. I understand that. But, you know, for a while there, Katie was going to work. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? Now she's home. And I have said that, like, I would rather her do online, and that, like, my opinion is that my opinion on going into school is that the reason these parents are saying these kids, they need to go to school because they need to socialize and they need to be around each other. Well, these kids, they're not going to have lunch. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to be within 6 feet of anybody. You're going to be socially distanced in a room. There's like not going to be any normal level of socializing that you couldn't, if everybody was just online, organize in the days with your bubble. You know what I mean? Like you could have a bubble of the kids, but I'm like watching some of these kids in my neighborhood. Like Gwen, she's like, most of my friends have jobs now. And I'm like, you know where they're working. Yeah. They're essential workers. They're working at restaurants. Yeah. And fucking places like that. And it's like, just people are kind of, I think they're tired of it. I know that everybody knows that they shouldn't be going back to school. I do believe that even the people that are sending their kids back to school, they know that they shouldn't go back. But there's so much fucking pressure to go back.
And there's no answer. On the other side, there's no solution. Like, if we agree not to go to school, it's not because it's going to help. Like, it's just, it will keep some of this at bay, you know? But, like, I don't, there's no leadership on this thing.
No. Listen to this, though. Noting that Dr. Anthony S. Fauci, the government's top infectious disease expert, and Dr. Deborah L. Birx, his administration's top coronavirus coordinator, have high approval ratings, even as his own have sagged, Mr. Trump added, and yet they're highly thought of. But nobody likes me. It can only be my personality, he concluded. And then he walked off the fucking stage.
So he just pouted to get people to feel bad?
Hey, I don't think anybody's ever tried that.
I pout.
But in a presidential election, this might be an unheard of.
Going for a pout?
Going for a pout. It can't work, dude. I have a kid and it works. It does work.
I think I mean, he's known for new moves. He's not held by any old rules, so maybe pouting will work. Maybe he'll just be like, well, I mean, I just tried to make America great, and fuck, nobody liked it. I'm sorry. And, you know, I'm a Nazi now, and, you know, I guess. I'm sorry, people. I just wanted everybody to get along.
I mean, that's his speech at the Republican convention. Fuck it, I guess. You know, none of my celebrity friends want to hang out with me. Now I got to hang out with all these politics nerds. I got this nerd Fauci. He gets to throw the first pitch. When I go to a game, everybody boos. This sucks.
I get it.
I don't like it. Okay? Well, fuck, I guess if you want Joe Biden, take him. You know? Okay. You know, fucking he doesn't do any more rallies. He just sits in a room and pouts.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, people do like the depression stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of humor, that BoJack Horseman.
Yes.
Kind of humor that people got going on. He could turn some Zoomers. Like, oh, dude. Yeah. You know, you're just an old guy.
It sucks, man. He was just vibing, and then he just, you know, it didn't work out.
He was vibing. He was vibing, trying to make America great.
Yeah.
And now everybody's mad at him.
Fizzled out.
It's like, what the hell, man? He was just telling us to go to bars and have fun and shit, you know? You said you got some stuff.
I got a few things.
I would love to hear it.
I got some. Okay, this one is pretty good. Oh, no. Please log in again, of course. This first one is from It's actually kind of interesting. A person was looking for a job at a brewery, and they filled out an application and sent it in, and they got contacted for an interview, and they were like, they did a smart move. They're like, I'm going to go on the website. I'm going to see what they make, get familiar with what they do, right?
Yeah.
They have a beer called the Fallen Hero Ale. And it's like it's not Captain America. It's like a 5-sided flag, like a pennant flag. But it's Blue Lives Matter flag. You know?
Oh, cool. On the way here, there were some white ladies in yoga pants stringing a thin blue line across the overpass. I don't know. I didn't see the whole thing, but they had a thin blue, like a thing, like a streamer that they were streaming across an overpass. And I was going to look and see if it's still there. I mean, I'm not going to be able to see it on the way home, but maybe Sunday if I see it, or on the way here this weekend if I see it, I will take that down.
Oh my God, that is awful.
Well, it could have been something else.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, definitely something popped. It just popped right into my mind,
Okay, I'm a brewer in Denver. I look at job boards. The place I applied, Tivoli Brewing, has this. The proceeds of this Fallen Hero Ale go to the families of dead cops. They asked me for an interview, and I knew I couldn't work with people who would make something like this. Here are screenshots of the emails between me and the CEO.
Oh, I love our listeners. Do you know why I love our listeners? Because I'm a fucking coward, okay? Like, I went to drop the car off, right? And I told you, I was texting with you on the way there because I was having a fucking anxious meltdown.
Uh-huh.
Because I had called the manager, and the manager told me to drop the car off. And I was going to have to go in and talk to the employees that I talked to the manager.
Yes.
Same guy, dude. The same fucking guy.
Is there to meet you.
He's there to meet me. And I'm wearing a mask, so he doesn't necessarily know who I am.
Sure.
And I'm like, yeah, I didn't drop a white Kia Soul. It was here last week. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, you want that cat convert? Whatever they say. And I said, no. The manager called me, told me to bring the car back. I'm just, dropping it off. And the guy's like, for what? And I'm like, I don't fucking know, dude. He said he would call me. He's like, he said he'd call you? And I said, yeah. And I ran out of there as fast as I could. It's so uncomfortable with it. It really put me in a bad position to have to do that. Like, where, I'm in the right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying about...
this guy didn't fucking fix the car.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about this thing you're doing. Like, the listener, the person that sent this in, totally in the right. I'm just too much of a coward to do the confrontation.
Yeah. So I don't have what they sent exactly. I guess they just said basically, after reviewing the beers, I don't think this is a good fit. The CEO replied, I'm happy to discuss this issue in person. Please feel free to call my cell phone number below at any time. Thin Blue Line is not what this is about and never has been. Okay.
What is it about? If it's going to comp, because they can say it's not about the thin blue line. It's about the widows and the families of the police.
No, even worse.
Oh, okay.
We support many diverse causes in the community. So Thin Blue Line is just one of the many causes.
Yeah, a lot of businesses give to both Democrats and Republicans. That's the kind of shit we're up to,
But they don't really explain this very much. We support many diverse causes in the community. And here, for example, for the past 4 years, we've supported the Colorado Fallen Hero Foundation, and we brew a beer for them as a fundraiser.
Same thing.
This foundation provides support and funeral services for the families of fallen law enforcement officers. Yeah, we knew that. Ben, our listener, knew that.
Yeah.
That's why they wrote in... That's why they don't want to work there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, you don't understand. You thought it was a Thin Blue Line beer. It's to support cops in the Thin Blue Line.
Yeah. It's a Blue Lives Matter.
It's very diverse. I mean, we give to all kinds of charities. What's that a charity again? Oh, we give to this charity called the Fallen Hero Foundation. They give money to support the Thin Blue Line and funerals. It is an independent charity, and we are proud to help. I know this is a sensitive subject and time for all of society, but in no ways is Tivoli Brewing Company in any way supportive of any extremist group on either side of the political or social divide.
I mean, if you're giving money to the police, you're definitely on that side. This guy, you know what this guy's worried about more than anything?
Thin Blue Line is like a hate group shit. Like, that's the Punisher skull, really.
He's not worried about hiring. I mean, he's worried that the person that wrote this in is going to post about it. And then now he's going to have to he's like, oh shit, you know. And then people are going to go look at his likes on all of his social media stuff and find out like the kind of stuff he's into, which is probably bad.
Yep.
I mean, Thin Blue Line people, their likes are probably terrible, I would imagine. The stuff that they're involved in.
Oh, yeah. The stuff that makes them crack up online.
Yeah.
Okay, to infer that from a website view is very short-sighted. Okay? I think you will find our team very inclusive of color, gender, sexual orientation, and religious choice. And our diverse makeup reflects that. Okay. How do we know that?
Yeah, who knows that?
That said, I totally understand and respect your position. And from my perspective, I will always robustly defend Tivoli, our employees, and what we stand for.
Well, at least he's robustly doing something.
Yeah, it's robust.
It's a robust defense, and that's really all you're really looking for. Somebody to really fucking robustly feel strong about their opinions.
Yeah, so they're very inclusive, and was very stupid of them to think poorly of them simply because they raise money for police officers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we quit going to that pizza shop for the same goddamn reason, you know?
Yeah.
They were fucking asking for, they were like collecting money for, real, for like a brutal cop.
Oh, yeah. Police, an actual one that was like, committing crimes.
And they would probably say they were apolitical. In that case, hey, we give to all kinds of things. It's like this cop.
You know what? I don't have these. I can do. Well, this is a good one to check out. There's so many on this, but there is. If you're in the Atlanta area, there's an Instagram called No Call No Show ATL. That is just pages after pages of like iOS press releases from employees. Talking about, I work at Waffle House on 5th Street, Georgia Tech campus. I had symptoms on July 2nd working there. Customers had no mask, no social distancing. I called off, went to get tested. A few days later, I definitely had a headache, no taste or smell, coffee wheezing, and my body was aching. I'm still waiting for my results, and I've now been fired for waiting for my results. And I told the people I work with that night to go get tested.
Jesus.
So it's all anonymous. Barcelona Wine Bar in Inman Park. Like, all these exposés on, like, Hooters downtown.
I mean, here's the thing. We know, just personally, I'm not going to, like, because I haven't done, like, a super real job during COVID, but I do know what managers, general managers, shift managers, like, I know what kind of people they are, and I know the kind of expectations they have. And I am very sure that they're pressuring people to come to work with COVID. I'm very sure of that.
I mean, the people that end up in those jobs are usually just want to just have the position of power that they got, maybe the little bit of extra income. They don't want to move or go anywhere else. And they're just prepping themselves to go in there and be like, suck it up, Buttercup. Like, it's very tough times right now, and I don't feel bad at all. I have to just follow the policy of the company, and you're getting fucked over.
Oh, let me talk about it from their side, though, just real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So you got the job of manager at the Waffle House.
Right.
You get to go sit back in a little closet room with all the cameras and, the straws and shit in there and really, like, tap away on a computer the whole time. One of these employees gets COVID, you're out there fucking making waffles.
True.
That sucks.
That's not
You
good.
know, that's
Yeah.
it kind of negates the
That's
part of the
true.
job where you just sit in a back room and stare at a computer. I don't think they have that at Waffle House, to be fair. Wait, do they have a back area at Waffle House?
I don't know. I've never been back.
But I'll say this, like, you know, like at a McDonald's or something like that, those people are being, I don't know, they're being pressured to do it, and they're being like, it might not be like that they're saying you have COVID, you have to work. It would be technicalities. It would be things like, well, you don't have a fever, so you're probably okay. Why don't you get a test after work? And then you know, come in until you get the result. And then, you know, we'll deal with it when we have the result. Because that like buys the time to move the fucking schedule around.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, there isn't a consideration about passing COVID around, in much the same way that they don't really have a consideration about passing the flu around in any year or the common cold. They like don't, at a lot of restaurants and like service level jobs, they don't want you to call in sick ever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you're sick, they still want you to come to work.
They want you to try.
Yeah.
Like, you think you can try this time? We really need you tonight on Expo.
Yeah. And I just feel like maybe there are some places that are handling this differently than they did previously in January, how they would handle a call-in sick. You know what I mean? I'm sure there are some people, but I'm also very positive that there's a lot of managers that are heaping pressure on, that are accusing people of faking having COVID, that are accusing people of faking, you know, coming off. Where we see the people accusing people on unemployment of like just being lazy and trying to stay on unemployment. You know,
yeah,
we
that's
see
happening
that.
regularly.
It's happening all the time now. So we know that people are being forced back to work. And we also just instinctively know that at the bottom level of any company, at the bottom 3 levels of any company, you do not call in sick. It is just so frowned upon. You know, I've seen people get fired.
Oh yeah.
For doing it.
If it's a bad day.
Yeah. You just pick the wrong day to call in sick and you get fired. I saw guys get fired when I was working at the cable company, which was a job that was like kind of hard to get fired from. But I watched guys get fired for calling in sick. You know, they're like, oh, I called in sick 2 weeks ago. Now he's sick again. He had to be faking one of the times.
Right.
It's like fucking people can get sick twice.
It happened.
Yeah. It's not an impossible fucking thing. You know? And like, I saw them. I've seen it happen, and it's really fucking tough, man. It's really tough to try to figure out. And then when you look at the gig economy, that is also another problem. Like, I'm seeing stories that it's actually failing too, because there's too many fucking people doing it now, because too many people got laid off and need the fucking money.
Yeah.
So now unemployed people are doing the gig economy. And so it says, this article that just came out today says the gig economy is failing. Say hello to the hustle economy. Unemployed teachers, cooks, dancers are turning to Patreon, Twitch, and OnlyFans to make their money, which is like good. More people doing their thing, doing something artistic. It's just an incredibly hard world to make a living in. And it's like not going to happen right away. And that's like the real issue. You know, it's like I had, you know, the time to wait for this to get me to where I am now. You're not just going to start a Patreon as a unemployed teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
And start making the kind of money even we make, which we make on the low end of what everybody makes, you know? And like, it's not a solution. OnlyFans is not a solution. I don't even know what you do with OnlyFans. Like, you can't go telling people in your real life about it. So then now I have to turn into like an online fucking SEO marketer or something like that, just so I can maybe try to eke out some kind of fucking money, because I can't even fucking drive for Lyft anymore because that's dried up, you know, because ride sharing's done. Like, I don't know how Lyft, especially because they don't have a delivery service. I don't know, like, how they come back.
Probably own one.
Do they?
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
My guess that they own it. They own scooters and all the other stuff.
But they don't. Does Lyft have a delivery service? Oh, they're doing it now.
Meal is the name of it.
Meal? Well, nobody's using that.
Meal.
Never heard of it. But yeah, I just think, like, we're fucked. You know, like, there's they're not doing anything for us. We're like on our own. And on top of that, they're like crushing us. They're sending feds to cities to be ready for when they start evicting people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, people are they're going to cut these unemployment benefits. And what we saw in Portland is going to be how they handle that. It's not going, this is the trajectory that is right there in front of our fucking faces, and feels like something that probably can't be stopped even just by getting rid of Trump. Like, this feels like something that is probably just going to keep accelerating at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to keep going, you know?
Yeah, we're definitely driving over the edge on a lot of stuff. It's coming up, and you're right. I mean, the protesting against rent strikes is they now have a blueprint of what to do to get federal agents in here to just fucking snatch people up.
And
if
also,
they decide that, protesting, if they decide that, property damage is violence,
Yeah, and it's like they're also, did you see the thing they're making people sign to get their bail? They have like conditional bail, and one of the conditions is that they don't show up to any protests before their court hearing.
Wow.
So you're like
off the streets.
Yeah.
They get you out of it.
And like, so like, it's being theorized that they're just scooping up as many people as they can to then make it so they can't go back out on the street.
Temporary restraining order from protesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just, like, I don't know how to beat them, but I do know that we know our cities better than the feds. You know?
That's true. It's true.
We've seen what happens when they try to go into places where people know the landscape a little better. They have better weapons or whatever, but these are our streets. Like, we always just got to remember that, like, they're going to fly a bunch of people in that don't know their way around. Yes, they have all the tools and all the drones and all that stuff, but we got the numbers, man.
And it's, very little very little to push back against them. Like, umbrellas, how pissed off they are about umbrellas is
laser
fucking
pointers.
Hilarious. And
seeing them cry about laser pointers or like skinned knees.
Yeah.
You see all those? The guy that runs Border Patrol is like constantly posting, these brave soldiers. One guy fucking so clearly slipped off his pedals and got cut by the bike. You know, it happens. Like, I saw a bunch of people talking about it. It's so clear that happened. He's like, look what our men in blue are having to deal with. And it's like, dude, like, what happened there? Or like, a guy will have a skinned knee and they're like, look at this. Or like, I saw people complaining because they got paint on them yesterday.
I saw a video of a projectile of some sort, maybe a bottle of water or something, bounce off the ground and then bounce into a guy's leg. And then he kind of moved around for a second, and then he reached over and grabbed his partner and then started dragging his leg. Like he had just been fucking...
He flopped?
Yeah,
he flopped. He's playing fucking soccer or basketball?
Yep, exactly.
Like it was a bottle of water. It's like a bomb going off next to him. Now they're flopping.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, like, when I think about it, it's like, you know, they're trained or whatever, but they are just kids. A lot of them are, the agents are probably in their 20s. And, you know, you're going to peel off a certain amount of them that are just going to be like, I don't want to bust heads in American streets. And then those ones that you can't peel off of there, they just got to make their lives hell. I saw people complaining about them getting doxxed, and I was like, oh, God. Well, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the risk.
They made their choice. I run the risk of getting doxxed all the time. I'm not fucking crying about it, you know? Well, I don't run the risk. I am just doxxed. So, well, I think that's going to do it. I'm going to go home and be rashed. I've been staying
You're clearing up, right?
Well, I am clearing up, but I'm on steroids, so I can't sleep.
Ah.
I'm on prednisone, which is a steroid. And then I also rub a steroid cream on my body. It's humiliating. Just, I never want to get a cream at the pharmacy.
Why?
I don't know why. I think it's a 90s sitcom thing. And if you want to ride this thought out with me, I will give it to you.
Okay.
Okay. I didn't eat Indian food until I was almost 40 years old because 90s sitcoms made it sound like the worst shit in the world.
Even in the 2000s.
Even in the 2000s. Probably in the 2010s.
Along Came Polly, had an epic Indian food scene.
Yes. And I just didn't try it because it was like, who would eat that? It's fucking gross. You know, I heard it on Friends, you know? Or sushi. You know, you're going to get all this food poisoning from sushi because that was like the big story in every sitcom. Creams from the pharmacy. Another big 90s sitcom joke for me. Oh, hey, it's your cream. You know?
Right.
They know.
Stinky butt cream.
Yeah, it's either your butt needs a cream, your dick or balls need a cream.
Nipples.
It's never just like, for me, it was just like my stomach and my chest and my neck. But automatically, the woman behind the counter is like, you see this motherfucker come in here for cream? It's the Taco Bell situation all over again. I thought they were laughing their heads off at me.
Because you ordered cream?
Because I had to go in there and get a prescription cream.
Everybody needs creams, dog. The whole world's using creams.
Gotten a prescription cream ever, I don't think. I think this is my first prescription cream.
Really?
Ever. Yeah, why would I get one? What would I need one for?
It sounds like you have bad skin.
Not that bad. This is like a, one-time thing.
Hasn't detergents bothered you?
Happened when I was little, yeah. There's a detergent when I was a teenager. But then I stopped using that detergent. It didn't come back. I have sensitive skin, but I just never had creams. Even that time, it was pills. I like pills, man. I don't mind going in and getting a pill. It could be fucking... greasy dick pill. It could be called greasy dick pills. And I would be totally fine picking that up because it would just be like, you know, I got a greasy dick, you know?
Yeah, it's like I get rid of it.
But for some reason, a cream, because I'm immature. And I'm probably, if I'm the pharmacist, I'm standing behind the counter like, this fucking guy's going to go home and rub this cream all over himself.
I like creams because, like, a pill I don't trust. For stuff on the outside of my body, they're like, here's a pill. I'm like, what the fuck's that going to do? The problem's on the outside.
I'm 90% sure the pill is what's stopping this whole thing. It's the pill. It's not probably the cream. The cream is just like for relaxing.
Sure.
You know, it's like cream time.
It's for comfort.
Yeah, just humiliating to get a cream. I gotta cut it out, man.
What?
I need to just be a normal person.
Yeah, that would be.
My daughter has such like social anxiety now.
About creams?
No, not about creams, but I'm sure if there was a cream, she would be freaking about it. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit, I gotta get a cream. You know? Fuck. And it's probably because of me. Because I have fucking weirdness about everything. And I thought the people at Taco Bell were making fun of me. I don't want to go get a cream because I think the pharmacy's making fun of me.
Right.
Like, I've been thinking about... And now the car guys are probably all fucking...
Oh, yeah, they definitely are.
Oh, they're kicking stuff thinking about me. Fucking their manager probably yelled at them. Oh, I feel like the worst person. I didn't get a chance to say I don't want anybody to get in trouble. Because he just didn't care. About my side. He was just like, bring it back, I'll handle it.
You don't get to pick that.
I know, but I just want to say it.
You don't like roll in and just get to take over the shop.
I wasn't saying that. I was just going to be like, I don't want anybody. Everybody was very kind to me.
Yeah.
They just didn't fix my car.
They just didn't do their job at all.
Charged me a bunch of money and then told me they wanted to charge me a bunch more.
I love that he was like, "Oh, you're back, man. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, you got another $2,000? Look at
Shit.
you fucking rolling in
Can I
it.
borrow some money?"
Yeah. He was the guy also that wasn't wearing a mask when we were there.
Yeah.
Because there was the one maskless guy, and he was maskless every time I went. He's wearing a mask the other day.
Okay.
So somebody obviously said something.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's treading on thin ice. This guy, he won't wear a mask. He won't fix a car. He's yelling about catalytic converters. Very... Well, hopefully Sunday I will know the end of the car saga will be there.
Yes, finally.
You know, it's possible that they're just going to fucking fix it now.
You think so?
I do feel like now that it's a good possibility that the manager's going to be like, fix it and get this guy out of my hair. You know?
I mean, especially because the labor numbers that they charge you are fucking made up, you know?
Yeah, and I got a buddy also that is a listener to this show that offered if I want help putting the thing on, that they would help me. It's like a few bolts, a catalytic converter.
Yeah.
So like, I could do it. I think I'm decently good with tools and shit, and with him there, I'm sort of unstoppable. You know, which it's really just going to be me being like, "Are you sure you don't need any help?"
Yeah, can
like
I get
just
you
standing
something to
there,
drink?
go in and get him a Gatorade.
Yeah, these are real hard to get. This is
You want a caramello? I give him a caramello.
yeah.
Oh,
Not till they're done though. Not till he's done.
Yeah, no.
He would get
not
that
as
and
a
just quit
snack
the
in
job.
the
As soon as
middle.
he had the caramello in the middle, he'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stay mellow instead."
Yeah, when I had those 2 boxes of them, Gwen ate. She was like, "I ate one. I just don't get what the fuss is about." And I was like, "What are you eating one for? You're mine." All right, that's the show.
All right, thank you for listening to Street Fight Radio. You can subscribe to us as a podcast. I got a bonus conversation with Tommy Franklin from the Weapon of Choice podcast. That's going to be on the Patreon. I'm sorry. That's going to be on the podcast feed. There was no live stream of that. So you have to subscribe to the show as a podcast on Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Stitcher, whatever it is. And you can get it there. I also did a guest appearance on the Rock Hard Caucus podcast out of Iowa. I talked to Evan, Justin, and Natalie and had a great conversation and got to talk about jobs and teenage working and all kinds of fun stuff. So check that show out. And then I also got some of the outstanding foods, vegan pork rinds. So I'm going to do a live stream of all the flavors over the coming weeks. So follow on Instagram, Street Fight WCRS. We will see you on Sunday. Peace. It's NASCAR on Sunday, baby. I got money on it.